What's going on, y'all? We back. We're going to be continuing on in the book of Ezekiel, following the life of a man named Ezekiel. God basically reveals himself to him and then shows him and gives him the prophecy of everything that's going to happen and befall the people of Israel due to their rejection of God, and what will happen once they finally accept him after all the things that happen. Chapter 28. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, say to the ruler of Tyre, this is what the sovereign Lord says. In the pride of your heart, you say, I am God. Let me read that again. In the pride of your heart, you say, I am a God. I sit on the throne of a God in the heart of the seas, but you are a man and not a God. Though you think you are as wise as a God, are you wiser than Daniel, who was a prophet? Is no secret hidden from you? By your wisdom and understanding, you have gained wealth for yourself and amassed gold and silver in your treasuries. By your great skill in trading, you have increased your wealth, and because of your wealth, your heart has grown proud. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Because you think you are wise as a God, I am going to bring foreigners against you and the most ruthless of nations. They will draw their sword against your beauty and wisdom and pierce your shining splendor. They will bring you down to the pit, and you will die a violent death in your heart, in the heart of the seas. Will you then say, I am a God? In the presence of those who kill you, you will be but a man, not a God. In the hands of those who slay you, you will die the death of the uncircumcised at the hands of foreigners. I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, take up a lament concerning the king of Tyre, and say to him, this is what the sovereign Lord says. You were the model of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you, ruby, topaz, and emerald, chrysolite, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I adorned you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in all way, and you were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. Through your widespread trade, you were filled with violence, and you sinned. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God, and I expelled you, O guardian cherub, from among the fiery stones. Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. So I threw you to the earth. I made a spectacle of you before kings. By your many sins and dishonest trade, you have desecrated your sanctuary. So I made a fire come out from you, and it consumed you. And I reduced you to ashes on the ground in the sight of all who were watching. All the nations who knew you are appalled that you have come to a horrible end and will be no more. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set your face against Sidon, prophesy against her, and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against you, O Sidon, and I will gain glory within you. They will know that I am the Lord when I inflict punishment on her and show myself holy within her. I will send a plague upon her and make blood flow in her streets. The slain will fall within her with a sword against her on every side. Then they will know that I am the Lord. No longer will the people of Israel have malicious neighbors who are painful briars and sharp thorns. Then they will know that I am the sovereign Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. When I gather the people of Israel from the nation, when they have been scattered, I will show myself holy among them in the sight of the nation. Then they will live in their own land, which I gave to my servant Jacob, They will live in their safety and will build houses and plant vineyards. They will live in safety when I inflict punishment on all their neighbors who maligned them, who maligned them. Then they will know that I am the Lord their God. This chapter is so key. So it starts out with him telling Ezekiel, go to the king of Tyre. Now, Tyre is north of Israel, north of the country of Israel. And basically, the king of Tyre has begun inflicting, what's the word I want to look for? Has started taking advantage of the people of Israel. And God is saying, your pride has made you feel and brought you to the thought that you are a God, that you have wisdom of a God. And God says, you are but a man. And this is a very key in scripture, because a lot of people will say the Bible is talking about how you are God. And it's showing you how you are the creator of your own world and you are the creator of your own destiny. But God is saying there is only one God, and that is me. You can't be you. You didn't create yourself. You weren't there at the beginning of the foundation of the world. You didn't make the world. You don't know how many hairs are on your head. You don't know when you're going to die. How could you be God when you don't know anything? You don't know when you're going to die. You don't know if you're going to wake up in the morning. You're just a man who's been brought up by the hubris of your successes, of your success in your trade. Now you think you're some kind of God because you have earthly wisdom. And Jesus, the Lord, is saying, in the pride of your heart, you say, I am a God. I sit on the throne of a God in the heart of the seas, but you are a man and not a God. So in this point right here, God is rebuking the idea that any man is God. He's rebuking that no matter how high, how successful you get, you are but a man. You are not God. You don't know when you're going to be out of here. He controls the breath that you breathe. This goes on to tie into another scripture where he begins to allude to the devil, to Satan. And that's so after he finishes talking about Tyre, the king of Tyre, he goes on in verse 10 to all the way to verse 19. He's describing, he says, the word of the Lord came to me, son of man, take up a lament concerning the king of Tyre and say to him, this is what the sovereign Lord says, you were made of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God, every precious stone. And he goes on to describe all these stones. But really, he's talking to Ezekiel, telling him to go to the king of Tyre and then describe how he's just a man, but then also tie how his hubris and how he thinks he's a god is exactly what happened to Satan when he was in the Garden of Eden, and before that when he was in the eternities past, how he was the highest level cherub, the highest level angel, beautiful, perfect in all ways, and he thought that he could be better than God, and then he began to rebel and sin against God, and then God had to put him in his place and cast him out of heaven into Eden, and then that's where that ends up happening with Adam and Eve, and that's why he was there. So he's saying the characteristics that you're showing is no different than the devil and why he got cast out. And then it goes on to talk about Sidon, and Sidon is another nation. And God is basically telling Ezekiel to go and basically preach the same thing. All these places have become full of pride and full of themselves. And now they have lifted them and exalted themselves to a higher level, thinking that they are God. And God says, I am the only God.